Hello everybody and welcome back to our channel. And it's Monday. It's time for the news. So let's get started with our entertainment news and our overall fandom news of the week. And here's what's been going on in the world. So Cardi B announced at the BET Music Awards that she is having her second baby. Okay. I like Cardi B to a certain extent, I suppose. Some of her music is a little bit crazy, and maybe I don't enjoy every song. But for those of you who like her and look up to her, hey, she's getting ready to have another baby. I wonder what she'll name this one. I wonder how that all will go. Looks like it's going to be a fun journey for her. She looked happy, so if she looked happy, that makes me happy. Now, in a bit more of overall fandom news for people who remember the show Smallville. We had some Smallville news come across the wire today, and that news happens to be that Allison Mack who played Chloe on Smallville. You might remember she got involved with the NXIVM sex cult. Crazy times. And she devoted her entire life to this cult to the extent where she became one of the main members of this horrible cult. Well, what eventually happened is the guy who was responsible, he ended up getting arrested. He's doing several life sentences from what I understand. And anyway, her sentencing is due to be announced. She released a letter to the general public saying that she sees the error of her ways, that she devoted her life to him, and it was wrong. That she asks forgiveness of everyone for all the people and all the hurt that she's caused, and she wants to be forgiven. Okay. If she's serious and everything, then good. I'm glad she saw the error of her ways, and she was actually one of my personal favorites on that show. But you can't really, overlook the fact that she hurt so many people. If the branding rumors alone are true, and they seem to be, there's pictures floating around all over of people being branded, and it's rumored that the branding is actually her initials. And when you see the branding, you can actually see that in fact it does look like her initials. This is kind of something that you just go, wow, you're sorry? I don't know. I hope she's sorry, but her lawyer is asking for no jail time. What do you guys think about that? I mean, does she deserve jail time? Do you think she was brainwashed? Do you think she's a victim in all this? Or do you think she knew what she was doing? Because that's a crazy, crazy thing to think about, that she knew what she was doing. And overall, if you look at the footage of her being arrested and you look at all the stuff, it seems pretty out there that, she might have actually known what she was doing. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments. Now, also in the news, Britney's conservatorship is in the news. She's asking to be let out. She says that she's been held essentially a prisoner, that she hasn't been allowed to do anything. She hasn't even been allowed to have a baby or anything like that. They're controlling every moment of her life. And if Britney is seriously ill and needs the help, then I say that you do what you can as the family to protect her. But I have to be honest, in this case, I'm not sure that's the way it is. Keep in mind, Britney had been performing since she was a little girl, and the family might have grown very accustomed to this money. And you hate to think that people would do such a thing, but it is possible that people would. Do you think that her father is legitimately an evil person who has been keeping her under lock and key, essentially, keeping her as his own personal Miss Moneybags? And if so, her sister Jamie Lynn Spears has recently come out and said she pretty much tries to stay out of her life, that she's got no horse in this race. I don't know. I find that comment a little weird myself, but then again, Jamie Lynn Spears has had her own problems throughout the years, and I'm sure she doesn't judge her sister. So there's that. Now, in other fandom news, perhaps one of the biggest box office successes, well, the biggest box office success of the year was $70 million. And what made $70 million? Well, the Fast 9 made $70 million. Now, I've heard a lot of people talk about Fast 9 and say they didn't like it or say they liked it. And you know what? Whether you liked it or you didn't like it or you haven't seen it and you're gonna see it, or you haven't seen it and you're not going to see it. $70 million at this particular time, in this particular year, is pretty good. I have to admit that $70 million this year is good. And why? Because it is the highest grossing movie to hit the box office since 2019. Think about that. This is the highest grossing movie to hit the box office since 2019. And we're in 2021 now. And not only that, we're about mid through 2021. I mean, there's only a couple more months and all of a sudden you'll have Halloween. You'll have Christmas all over again. And I don't want to remind you that that's coming up, but my God, it is. And what are you going to do? So, that's some of the crazy things that have been going on. Have you seen Fast 9? What did you think of the movie? Because I personally saw it. And while I have to admit it's all sorts of crazy, and it's the type of crazy you really have to turn your brain off for, because if you don't turn your brain off for it, you're not gonna get much out of it. That being said, it's not a bad movie. If you've liked the previous ones and how crazy they've been getting, then you're probably still gonna like this one all right. The action scenes are actiony. Actiony. Is that a word? Yeah. Actiony is totally a word. If it's not, it is now. Webster's, write it in. Now, yeah, the action scenes are still action-packed. The comedy's still there. The funny thing about it, is the movie hasn't changed really from what it set out to do. And the crazy thing about it, the absolute most crazy thing, is the one thing that didn't change, is that that Vin Diesel will win the fight. That's right, Vin Diesel will always win the fight because Vin Diesel has it written into his contract that he does not lose a fight, apparently. Now, I've seen several people talk about this movie that they didn't like it, that they thought it was too over-the-top silly. In a way, that's kind of one of the things I found appealing. Yeah, so that's one of the things I liked was the crazy. I was perfectly happy with the crazy. You don't go to the movies expecting realism. You just don't. If you go in expecting realism, you're not going to find it, even in a biopic. So, that brings us to our last story of the day. And that is singer and actress Andra Day, who you might remember from the United States, from the United States versus Billie Holiday, where she played Billie Holiday in the biopic, apparently is dating Brad Pitt. Can you imagine that? Now, the funny thing about that is that Andra Day says it's not true. In fact, she says the two of them have never even met. So she's never even met Brad Pitt. How is it that they're dating? She said she was on the phone to her sister, and her sister said, oh, so we met Brad Pitt. And she said, yeah, I guess we did, boo, which I find kind of funny. So apparently that rumor's not true, but it's been floating around. She even goes so far as to say, I guess they had a slow day in the news. Well, so that will bring us to the end of this video. However, some things I need to tell you, before we go. So, I've struggled with this particular format, with doing the fandom news, because it seems like sometimes there's a lot, and sometimes there's just not enough. So what I plan on doing is, from now on, we're going to keep this format. However, in addition to telling a few slight news stories, we will talk about something related to the fandom that's more fun. Like maybe reviewing a game, or maybe reviewing a movie. We'll do something of that sort every time we talk about the news on Monday. And a lot of people may have noticed I missed a video or two recently. And if you're really noticing, you notice that I put one out yesterday in addition to this one that's going out today. And the reason for that is that I intended to do 2 a week, and I am trying really hard to do those 2 a week. But I'm actually trying to build up a schedule that will work for the videos, where we can put them out quicker and easier. But yet at the same time, we want to up the ante. We want to make our videos a little more fun. So, expect a few slight changes. However, we're still going to be doing 2 videos a week, and there may be a couple times where we will do 3. So you don't want to miss anything, because I have a lot of really fun things planned for this channel. We have a lot we're going to be talking about. So, so hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. And what's that? What's that? Leave a comment. Miko says, leave a comment in the comment box so that YouTube knows that he's adorable and this channel is awesome. What? Oh yeah, and remember, fandom is family. Take care, everybody.